Alright, hello YouTube, this is Lucas, and I have returned months and months later after my first video post, just because, well, I was surprised that it actually had a couple hundred views, which I know is like pocket change on YouTube, especially Minecraft YouTube. Anyway, I thought I would just give a brief run around of my world that I'm working with here, just so if any of you guys are interested at all, that you can see what I'm working with here, and you know, give me some suggestions, because I've kind of I haven't hit a wall, I would say, but I'm at a point where I'm just like, should I keep playing this? Should I find a new game? Like, what should I do? And I'm sorry in advance again for the crappy audio. If I ever became more serious about this, I would invest in some better equipment. But until that day, this is what we're working with. So let's just jump right into it. This is the starter shack. So this is my friend's realm on Xbox One, playing the Bedrock edition, and this is the starter house. We started in the spawn village, which is over to the west there, and I wanted to get away from them a little bit, so I struck out east. I went just a little bit, maybe about half a map square, like a full 4x4 map square, level 4 map square. And I came out here and I built this little starter shack, and this was the base of my operations for a long time. You can see we've got that portal there, that goes obviously to the nether. And we've got some things around here. This place is just about hollowed out now, there's not much going on here. There's actually like nothing going on here anymore. Just a bunch of empty chests, really. Ooh, netherrack, valuable. And yeah, so one thing I've got here is my first attempts at sugarcane farms, which worked when I hung around here, but they were still kind of slow. You can see there's a lot of build there for not a lot of sugarcane, so it's not very efficient, I would say. You can certainly build much more efficient farms than that, but there it is. They still kind of look nice. I'm not going to tear them down. They still kind of look kind of cool, just chilling there. This is the much bigger version of that, which is much more efficient. Collect sugarcane much more quickly. But even still, these days, I don't spend a lot of time down here on the ground level, which means that anytime I'm up in my main base now, my main castle, that this chunk down here is not loaded, and so this thing does not produce any sugarcane most of the time, unless I'm hanging around down here. So that kind of sucks. This is sort of sort of an oak forest or a grassland kind of biome, but I did bring in some of these trees. You can see I've got big spruce trees around. I imported some jungle trees from quite far away. The nearest jungle to here is quite far away. Phantoms. There's phantoms up above there. They said in the patch notes that they fixed them and that they're going to start swooping down and attacking me, but I have yet to see it. They do not like me very much because they would much prefer to chill up on high where I cannot effectively get at them. And they're very hard. They're surprisingly hard to shoot. Son of a bitch. Alright, well. So yeah, we can keep going up here. I've got those are dark oaks, just sort of ornamental. Obviously I've got my sheep and my cows and my horses in the stables. I think that one right there is my best horse that I've found so far. But I've got a few other ones, just in case. I do like to tame, tame ones that I find, just in case that their stats are way better. But the one I've got is pretty beast. It's quite fast and he can jump quite high. Obviously, those are the two stats you want in a horse because their health doesn't really matter. And so here we are climbing up to the main base. You can see I do have some beacons in here. There's the phantoms now adjusting their height to stay constantly above me, well above me, where I can't get them. And so we've got our two towers here, which are symmetrical. The building itself is not totally symmetrical. We walk in here. You'll notice a theme of most of my buildings is that large structure looks kind of cool from the outside. Really not much going on here on the inside. We've got a couple beacons. There's a dragon head on the wall over there. This is the world map such as I have explored so far. This is where we are right there in that green dot. We've got some more outposts out here where I've got maps on the walls. A lot of those are out towards the ocean. My ocean monument and stuff like that. I recommend having a big map like that if you don't have one. I've got 3 beacons going on so far. The 4th one will be an easy addition. I just have to fill out the corners with iron. So let's take a look at this tower first. Well, before we even go in there, here's the storage input. So we can walk in the front door here and just dump stuff in the storage. You can pop a shulker box right there. Flick this on and off just to load, unload it. This right here in this tower is the Villager Rescue Center. So what was going on here is all of these villagers, none of them were bred in the conventional sense. I've never had a need for a villager breeder because I've always found so many zombie villagers walking around that I was able to fill this many slots with just zombie villagers and cure them. All my librarians, photographers are up on the top level here. And of course I do have a mending one. And so once you have a mending librarian, I mean, your game is really just over, isn't it? I mean, you've sort of beaten Minecraft at that point because you no longer need to mine stuff to craft with or craft stuff to mine with. Let's just go up to the top of the structure here. Show you the top of this tower while we're here. Again, absolutely nothing up here, but it looks kind of cool. I'm sort of doing the whole theme of this place in blue, mostly because this is all built of obsidian. Now, when I built this, there was the glitch, as you remember in Bedrock when it first came out. If you placed down your ender chest and broke it with a silk touch, you would get the chest and 8 pieces of obsidian. And so I tried not to abuse that, but as I was just sort of using the ender chest normally, you couldn't really avoid it in any way. It doesn't do that anymore, thankfully. We've got a lot of obsidian in these columns too, and the rows of the towers. I did mine a lot of obsidian though, so not all of this is spam obsidian. I did mine a lot of that painstakingly from the end mostly. But yeah, so moving on to this tower, we've got another big empty space. That's the theme of Lucas, is big empty spaces. The one thing I dislike about this location for having a main base on the top of a mountain, which I thought was really cool in vision, but in practice you get a lot of clouds that sort of just move through your base and obscure the vision of things, which is kind of annoying. I wish the clouds did not pass through solid walls, but here we are. We've got a haze up in my ceiling right now. Either that or someone is smoking a lot of bomb tokes in my place somewhere. And coming down to the basement, you guys might recognize this if you've seen my other video about the item sorter. This is the very same one in the same location. This is, of course, is the Tango Tech item sorter. It hasn't changed much. I've got most of my things filled in. It's all, the machinery is all finished in the back. The only thing that's unfinished about it is that these 4 modules here do not have items in them at all. These have never seen an item because I've just never had that much stuff going on. Got an enchanting table here surrounded by some chests for sort of unsortable items and various weapons, armor, that kind of stuff. Very rudimentary garbage disposal here, which fits out into that lava. The one cool thing I did add to the item sorter, if you're watching this just for the item sorter, then have a look at this at least, because I think this was worth doing, definitely. Especially if you have a lot of modules going on for it, like I do. I added in this very simple line, just 1 block with dust to a redstone lamp. And what that will do is basically just prevent me from having to walk back here every 45 seconds to see if it's still going. I can just pull out, because I only need half of that. I can just put these down here, and we can see that the indicator lights will flash as the system is powered on and off. And so those will flash. If I had, say, something from over on that side, they would flash all the way along there until it got there. And I think that's a big help. That saves me a lot of, like I said, just walking around behind there to make sure that things aren't stuck. We'll wait here till that finishes just so it doesn't get stuck. In my ender chest, I always carried ender chests with me, but I have them sort of set up at all my important spots, which is a fairly basic strategy, I guess. I've got a bunch of shulker boxes in here, cart, boat, bed. It's just stuff you'd want to have with you if you happen to not have one. This mine cart here goes down to a mine, obviously, and that does link up back to the starter shack in the mine there. which also had a minecart going down to it. I don't think I showcased that. So this here is the stairway in the corner. You'll notice it's nether brick. That means we're going down to the nether. And I think this room is pretty cool. It could use a lot more detail. Again, sort of a big empty space is the theme. I know. Could use some detail in the ceiling for sure. Thinking about it, working on it. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool as a nether gate. I like this wide shot right here, where you walk down the stairs and boom, there it all is. I think that looks pretty cool. And so let's hop into the nether. Got a couple places I want to show you in here, but we won't keep this going too long. There's not that much to see really. So we're walking down. You see, I've got sort of a mirror image of this stuff. Here, I'll just oh no, there it is. I was on it. Sort of a mirror image going on of my gate on the other side. This is all done in quartz. Got sort of a white and blue theme going on here again. But we won't spend too much time around here. You can see we very much are in the nether. The one thing I'll quickly show you down on this side is the zombie spawner, which is where I got... It's not really remarkable in itself. You've all seen a zombie spawner. You know how to make one work. But I just wanted to show you that this is where like, a good half, if not like say 75% of all of my zombie villagers came from. This space right here. I do have a haste 2 beacon down here because I was going to turn this into a mining hub, but then I quickly found this thing, and so now this place is where zombies hang out. Yeah, there they are. And so every so often I got villagers to spawn here. Of course, a zombie spawner can spawn villagers as well, zombie villagers, and so I would free them. I'd bring them out of the trapping area, keep them in those holding cells until I was ready. And then I would lead a train of about 3 or 4 of them. Wow, that's really going. Lead a train of about 3 or 4 of them back through the nether and back up into the castle. Which was pretty annoying sometimes. You know, if you're trying to path mobs or NPCs in this game, you know how annoying that can be. It just never quite goes the way you want it to. But yeah, a lot of my librarians and stuff came from that pit right there. So let's get out of there. We'll go back up. There's just a couple things that I want to show you guys up around here. Whoa. I do that every time I walk up the stairs. I almost dive face first into that lava, just because I feel like it, I guess. So you notice there's a bunch of trains going off here. Let's see, these 2 here go off towards my friends' places. We don't need to showcase that right now. This one goes off towards the end. I did not reset that cart last time. Crap. That's alright. This one here just goes off to another desert outpost and some pretty other like sort of unremarkable stuff that just, you know, if I need to collect sand or something, I hop on that one and I go out to the desert. But this one here is the long haul train. This is going to go to all the cool stuff I have out in the nether. Of course, cool is a relative term. The thing about Minecraft, and especially YouTube Minecraft, is that there's always a bigger fish. There's always people building way cooler stuff than you. You're never going to be at the top of your game. I'll just mention again that I do like a lot of the Hermitcraft guys. Those guys are fantastic. But I think that who is it? I think it's Il Mango, something like that. That guy is, in my mind, the unquestioned king of Minecraft. That guy just kills this game. Breaks this game in ways that just astound me, and that of course would not really be possible in Bedrock Edition. I think you need to be playing on PC to do the stuff that he does. Go check out, like I said, go check out Hermitcraft or go check out Il Mango if you want to see some really cool stuff. Of course, if you're anywhere near my video, you would have had to sort through much more popular videos already, so the chances that you haven't heard of those guys is quite slim. Here we are at the first stop. This is a nether fortress. There's never really any withers going on here, except in a very specific case. This is my first attempt at an automated blaze farm. It doesn't have a crusher down at the bottom. I need to manually kill them at the bottom still, but this is, you can see I've got the pistons all set up. You can also see the keen eye here will also see that it's far too large, that this wide area here, like the outermost rim, serves no purpose whatsoever because they never spawn that far out. Oh my god, oh no, not even close. We got him on the second row. No, third. They rarely spawn as far out as the second row, and never, ever do they spawn on this outer row, so that outer row is completely superfluous. But even still, that's how it works. You know how this works. They spawn, they fall, they get bounced around, they end up in the middle, ideally. So you know how that works. I have a cart down here because I'm lazy. We can just pop that down to see the collection area. And there they all are, looking great. Let's just go back up. And we'll hop in this cart and continue on. This cart here goes a long way down there to another nether fortress. Not that I haven't really done anything with that one. I just go there to kill withers, because withers never spawn at this first one that I found for some lame reason. We'll quickly just look at this. This is the second blaze spawner in this area, and this is what the first one over there originally looked like as well. I originally had them both in this sort of just very basic configuration. Nothing mechanized about this whatsoever. They spawn, they fall down, they hopefully path to the corners, and then then they get collected. Well, then they're just easy to kill. You can see them a couple whacks, and there they go. Bait and switch to my axe. And so yeah, that one's doing all. This one, you know, I feel like this one is more efficient than the one with the machinery built around it, because they just, I don't know why, but I'm quite disappointed in the efficiency of that one. They spawn so slowly over there, and also the thorn in my side about it especially is that I died so much making this stupid thing. I died so many times making this stupid blaze farm right here. And the reason for that is that if you've played Bedrock, you know that Blaze, whether it's a bug or whether it's just how Blaze work in this, Blaze will, about half the time that they hit you, they just one-shot you, just straight up. Doesn't matter what kind of armor you have, doesn't matter if you had the hubris like I have to name your armor best armor, but yeah, they will just kill you dead instantly, and that really sucked, and that happened to me several times while building that stupid thing over there. And so I just hate it. I really just hate it. Everything about it sucks. And the reason I say that it may or may not be a bug is because that some of the time, very rarely, when you get hit by one, they'll actually heal you. You get hit by a blaze fireball and they heal you to like full health, plus give you some golden hearts sometimes on top of your normal health. So that's like, what the hell's up with that? Anyway, so here we are at the another outpost. I'll just quickly show you that I have a map hanging on the wall here. This is map 1-1 as a Cartesian plane in relation to my home map. You can see I've got another outpost. We're at this one here. The other outpost is to the north, and the swamp there. There is another ocean monument right here. But the reason I have this outpost, as I just gave away, is that we have an ocean monument here. And I took the time to hollow this one out. And this is probably the single largest project I've ever undertaken in Minecraft, was to hollow out, to clear out all this ocean. And of course, it has been all for nothing so far. It's a cool thing to look at, a cool thing to revel in, and remember all the time I took to drain all the friggin' water out of here. And I just recently hollowed out the insides. But you'll notice that most people do this to have a guardian farm, and that I do not have one, because I simply have not built one yet. I've been and of course, now that the Aquatic update is out, I've been looking at designs on YouTube, of course, and most of them now don't need to have your monument drained, or to have the ocean drained out from around it, at least, because of the new mechanics of sort of soul sand and the bubble columns. Now you don't need to have the entire ocean drained out of a monument and the surrounding area, which I'm like, oh great, that's just fantastic, because it's not like I spent weeks of my life doing this friggin' thing where I cleared out all the ocean. But now that I have, it is still cool to look at. It's not like I'm gonna put the ocean back. So yeah, that's that. Ocean monument. I do like the Aquatic update. It's definitely cool. It's got a lot of cool stuff in it. I haven't built myself a conduit yet. I do have a conduit, but I haven't placed it anywhere. And I've got a bunch of tridents and stuff back in the base. Here's my little family of wolves chilling here. There's a drowned right there. I'll let them live for now. And so hopping back in here, that is pretty much huge project number 2. One being the blaze farm, which is annoying, much more annoying, but not on the same scale as that one is. That one was just a huge project. I know, you know, watching people do it in time lapses on PC, on YouTube, it seems like it takes no time at all. It took me a long friggin' time to drop all the gravel in lines, and then sponge out all the water with like a stack and a half of sponges from 2 temples, and then to break up all the sand lines. That took a long friggin' time. If I keep going this way, that'll go to another fortress. If I keep going this way, that too will go to another fortress. I've found a few nether fortresses, but they're all pretty much the same. You know what a fortress looks like. We're just going to head back this way. The last thing I'm going to show you guys is the end, because I have a pretty extensive Enderman farm going on there. Nothing that you haven't seen before. If you're into Minecraft YouTube videos, you've seen all this stuff before. But I just wanted to run through my own world here, show you guys what I've been doing on the realm that I've been playing on Xbox. And again, if you guys have any sort of suggestions, or you know you are able to pick something out that, hey, you could really use this here, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to get any kind of feedback on what I've been up to here. Just because, well, and I'm still of the mind, of course, it's all relative. If I'm the best Minecraft player you've ever seen, then like, how the hell did you get to this video? Because you can't have gone to my video right away without seeing about 10 other ones of people who are way better at this game than I am. And if you think that I should just quit Minecraft forever and never play it again, that is also a valid opinion, and I welcome that opinion as well. But hopefully that's not what you think. So we're gonna run this way. I didn't reset that cart, which is a bummer. So it's not too far though. It's just down this hill here, and then we're going to get to our stronghold portal, which will take us right to the foot of the end portal inside a stronghold. I will show you that I've built this rail specifically for this purpose. My powered rails are a little closer together in this one, so that I can, when I get here, because the end is always a one-way trip, I can always just push this back and wait for it to, I usually wait for it to turn the corner. It's going, and it's gone. Nice. So the next time I come through from my side, my cart will hopefully be waiting for me. So let's hop through here. I do also want to show you guys, just as a point of not pride, I guess, but just to show you that I didn't totally abuse the Ender chest glitch when it was a thing. I did actually mine a lot of obsidian out of these columns here, because as you know, in the end you get these big huge pillars of obsidian that you can just mine until you respawn the dragon. You can see that one is mined completely down to the ground, that one also completely down to the ground, and this big thick one here I've got about 2/3 of the way down to the ground. So I have mined a lot of obsidian blocks out of those things. I didn't cheat for every piece of obsidian that I have in my castle, though of course I do have a few of them. So we're going to go down here. I have not been able to adequately figure out the spawning mechanics for Endermen in Bedrock. I think it's probably bugged a little bit, because as far as I know, nothing should spawn on half slabs, right? Well, these guys obviously never got that memo, and they just spawn here all the time, whether there's a ceiling or not. So I'll stop quickly along here, and I'll just show you that. This is originally where I had the Enderman farm built, so I stopped there. I had a big structure built up in the sky there, but then I kept getting guys spawning on this platform, and not enough. There were no guys at all spawning on my high platform where we want them to drop down from, and so I assumed that I was still too close to the main island, even though I'm about 100 blocks out here. So I took it another like 100 or 200 blocks out. We'll just bring these guys to the party because it's always funny to watch them chase me. It's like it's a dog race, and I'm like the rabbit on the rail. Yeah, they're coming. They're coming. Get back, you devils. Perish, foul creatures! And so these guys still here, but luckily at my new station, I guess it's in a recent update, or I'm not sure exactly when it transitioned from not working to working. But it does work now. If I kill all those guys, especially, then more will drop down out of here. Seems like the mob limit is quite low. Come on, die. Oh, the horrible noise they make. Alright, well thank God, that's a symphony, music to my ears, and you can see now that we've killed them, a bunch more are going to drop down out of here. But I used to have to climb all the way up this thing to get any to spawn up there at all. When I first built this, way back in the early days of Bedrock, this thing was totally useless. It was pretty much just looked cool to have a structure built out in the middle of the void here. But now it does work a little better, so thanks for the update there. I used to have to not only come up here, but I used to have to climb up this platform and stand up top there to get anything at all to spawn on this platform. It was very frustrating. And you can see I've got this guy. I don't think we can see his name, but that dude is Lil Bastard, and he has been in that cart for quite some time now. And you know, if you've done that, if you've ever, built a precariously high and dangerous structure over here in the void, and you've tried to place that endermite and whoops, dropped my phone there. Place the endermite in the cart with the name tag. You know that that is super, super annoying, and I hope that he never dies, because that would be terrible. In fact, I say that because an enderman one time did port on top of there and kill the endermite, and I was really, really mad. But now this seems to be working a little bit better. Like look at this. What is this? What do I do about this? That's a question I'll pose to you guys, is what do I do about this enderman farm here in Bedrock? Because I'm tempted to rebuild this entire structure in glass. But would that even work? Because this is all half slabs, and again, as far as I knew, enemies couldn't spawn on half slabs, but yet these have clearly done so, and do so with impunity. They do not give one single F about spawning on half slabs, whether there's a ceiling or not. Look at these guys. They spawn into their own death, and they don't care. They're just chilling. They're just living their best life, briefly. And so I'm tempted to redo this entire thing in glass, but would that even make a difference? Like, I don't know. They would still just spawn. My fear is that I'm going to spend a lot of time and a lot of glass, of course, redoing that entire laneway in glass, and then it still won't work. It'll still just spawn them all over the place. So I don't want that. So I'll just leave it as it is for now. It is still pretty effective. As I said, it's much more effective than it ever was before, and I'm grateful for that. So let's, you can see I've got my one gate to the cities out there. We've only killed the dragon once here. We've never built him back up again. I guess just because we never got around to it. In fact, the egg is still sitting on top of that thing. Well, screw it. And now we should be back in my castle on the main floor. And so here we are. Big empty space. Obviously I want to put some aquariums and stuff in here, maybe make a little stairway up to a second level that goes around, wraps around those beacons, makes the beacons like a little altar around the whole thing. But yeah, mostly just empty space for now. And yeah, that's most of it. That's pretty much it. We're coming back down here to the starter place. Big trees around. I like having this forest area. I like having the tall trees around the base. Just looks cool. They do look starkly sort of out of place though. If I wanted to make it blend more, I would put some smaller trees as like a sort of an under canopy. But that's not. That's a project for another day. And so yeah, we've got some very shy phantoms up there again. Sun is rising. But I think that's most of what I wanted to show you. As I said, there were other rail tracks in the nether that led off to other fortresses. Nothing super cool to see there. I have other outposts in other places. Nothing super cool to see there either. I did find a fossil in one of the other ones. That was pretty cool. I was pretty excited when I found it, but then it's like, meh, it just sits there. So that's that. Anyway, I guess I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for checking out my video, if you are doing so. And like I said, feel free to comment. And yeah, again, I'm sorry for the audio quality, possibly the video quality as well. I'm streaming this to my laptop, so we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, basically, I will keep doing these as I add more stuff, and I'll let you guys know. And if this sort of takes off a little bit, I will invest in some better equipment with which to show you. So I guess I'll leave it there for right now, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.